maybe because I'm a neurotic person, but I've definitely bonded with other neurotic musicians over this of just needing to be in the right mental place to
totally
play good music and not just be worried about like playing accurately or just worry about what people are thinking or whatever.
Have you heard about the book Effortless Mastery?
No
by Kenny Werner.
Let me make a note, please.
Make a note.
Grabbing a pen.
Yes. So my one of my amazing teachers, Andrew Dickerson, got me onto this book. And other people. I was like, a lot of people told me to do it. But yeah, and basically it's about like psychology and playing music, and it's very like jazz centric, like it's because he's a jazz musician, and it talks about being a jazz musician a lot, which is great. Great for someone like me, but it's also like applicable to like all musicians, and it's just about like headspace when you're playing, and it's really like that book is really life-changing. Like it actually really helped me a lot in terms of being in a positive headspace when you're playing music. And it was just had some great analogies in there, like just about how like just stuff like, you know, like put yourself in the situation like you're about to die, you know, like you're close to death. You're not going to be thinking about like, oh, how good did I play that fucking lick, you know, you're not going to be thinking about that. Like it actually doesn't matter that much. Like like it's like this is life or death, but music is about like joy and happiness and expression. It's not about like it's just like kind of just changes your mind state a lot. And it's got some meditations in there. It's really great.
Cool.
But that really helps me a lot, and I think it's so like headspace is just so important for being able to create and express.
It's as if you want to die with me, as if we're going to die, as if you're gonna die with me, as if we're going to die.
Welcome, Abby Constable, to the Boroky podcast.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a lovely morning.
Very good. Well, maybe I'll start. Yeah, it is a lovely morning. I'm really cold for some reason, but I think it's just because I've been sitting still for a while. Maybe I'll say like 4 words about you, the limited stuff I know about you, and then you can introduce yourself in some more detail. Tell us what you do and everything. So, as far as I know, Abby Constable is an accomplished drummer playing in a billion bands in Sydney and ensembles and that sort of thing, and also an accomplished visual artist, and quite a prolific one from my Instagram scrolling of her page, which is now called Cracked Susie's. Is that right?
Yes, indeed.
So that's about all I've got. So could you tell?
Cool.
You've probably, who knows? Yeah, I may have missed some really important stuff. So,
not really. I mean, okay. So my name's Abby, and I'm an artist. And my two main forms of art are music and visual art. And I guess like predominantly, I'm a drummer, a working drummer, but I'm just really passionate about both ends of the spectrum, and they kind of influence each other in weird ways. That's it.
Cool. Do you want to talk about any of the ways they influence each other, and then after that I'll probably ask you how you got?
Yeah, sure. I guess like whenever I'm drawing, I'm always listening to music, and a lot of the time it's jazz.
Cool.
And I find that it always makes me draw weird things, and like it just makes my mind like I find music to be really it like evokes a lot of imagery inside of my brain. And yeah, I find it pretty difficult to draw without music, I guess.
That's
because
interesting.
it just really stimulates my brain like visually, which is really cool.
Yeah. And so it can become almost like a translation process or something, which is probably what like all creativity is, or you could see it that way, it's like a synthesis and then translation kind of thing. But
yeah, totally.
yeah, in that particular context, it's like there's the music, there's an image, now I can draw
yeah, exactly. And it's for me, it's expressing the same thing, like the music and the art is
that's so
expressing the
cool.
same thing. Yeah,
I have a friend who actually, you might have even seen his podcast, a friend called Clancy Baxter, who's an experimental perfumer. Yeah, that was probably our silliest episode to date because we're really good friends. But he does a lot of translational work. Like he usually does paintings because he's a real visual thinker as well, but not he paints, but it's not his main thing. So he did like a series where he translated Rothko paintings into scents, which are really amazing things to smell.
That's really cool. Yeah, I guess scents is also very like stimulating of like images and memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really crazy. If you ever get the chance to sniff some things of his, they're some of it's just ridiculous. Really,
that's awesome.
Profound. Anyway, tell me about your childhood, or rather, let me know, how you got, how you wound up being being in the place you are now, I guess. Also, you're a student as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in my 4th year at the Conservatory of Music at the moment.
For drumming?
So for drumming, I'm doing the jazz performance degree, which has been awesome. And but yeah, I guess what led me here. I don't know. My brother and sister were both very musical. My parents love music and always have loved music, but neither of them. Actually, my mom sung in a choir a lot when I was younger.
Me too.
So that, I mean, there's that. But in terms of me and my brother and my half brother and my sister are all have very deep loves for music. And I don't really know why. It's just we kind of all just grew up like that. And I was very inspired by my older brothers and sisters. My older sister Millie always used to sing. And that was always really inspiring to me. My brother played guitar. And then my older half brother is also an incredible drummer, and he's built a career out of that. But it's interesting because he grew up in a separate with different parents. So we grew up separately, but we both managed to end up being like professional drummers, which is funny.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know, I guess it's just kind of like in our blood or something.
That's a beautiful way to see it. Yeah, I imagine maybe I should ask rather than infer, but I imagine there's a bit of is there a competitive element as well to growing up with especially kids who are older than you playing amazing music? You're like, got to do that to
I guess the thing is, like, we were also into different stuff, so it's never really competitive. Like my Dan, my half brother, he's like his main thing is like rock drumming, like just I don't know, like really different. Like we talk about it a lot. Like we're in like completely different like fields of like of music, and so it's never really like competitive, I guess. And then like my sister, I mean my other brother and sister, like I don't know, it was never really competitive.
Okay.
But yeah, my brother, like I remember my brother getting me into AC/DC when I was really young. That's probably like a memory and like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's a special moment.
Yeah. That's probably very, very pivotal.
I remember coming across AC/DC in the Tony Hawk like computer game. I think it came free with my parents' Mac or something. And just hearing that
Nice.
music and being like, whoa, this is rock and roll.
Yeah, life-changing stuff.
Yeah.
When you're young, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Well, maybe I could ask about your creative practice. In that case, because we kind of got what you do and how you got there. What is it exactly that you're doing these days? And maybe you could cover a bit more of that, and then how it works, kind of thing. You sort of talked about the visual art a bit.
Yeah. So, like, do you mean in relation more towards the drumming part of it?
Why not start there? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess my focus at the moment is playing jazz music, and at the moment I'm actually going through I'm being taught by Simon Barker.
Oh.
Incredible person. And so we're going through I'm going through a technique restart at the moment.
Wow.
So that's what my whole focus at the moment is, that, and the reason why I'm doing that is because this music that I'm trying to play is it requires a certain state that your body has to be in, or rather like the way your body moves, and I guess like technique, like it requires technique that I in the past haven't had, and I'm trying to be able to be fully expressive on my instrument, which requires like flawless technique. So so that's my focus at the moment, is starting my technique from the ground up again, and Simon's been like incredible in facilitating that. It's been really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we quickly go deeper into that, or just like what precisely, if you can summarize it, or not, you know, I mean, we've got time, but how what does it mean to like redo your technique like that?
Well, one of our first lessons, he gave me a tennis ball, and we just picked up the tennis ball, like, and learned and kind of just like observed how the body does something so natural as pick up an object. And you know, no stress, no ideas attached to that movement, and trying to translate that feeling to picking up a drumstick. And so there's nothing attached to it. It's like a completely natural movement. So the beginning of the technique restart, just learning how to like pick up the stick again. So really going from like zero, and then, you know, learning to, you know, play one note, and avoiding certain physical loops that I've gotten into in the past that are like kind of holding me back, and really trying to train my hands and shoulders and wrists to do what I need to do. So really intense stuff, like really really like it requires a lot of concentration and like trust in the process, because it's quite unlike anything I've ever really done before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's quite funny how hard it is to achieve things that Kim said in her podcast, that a lot of her students are just way better at this stuff than she is, or was at first, trying to figure out how to just pick up the stick, etc.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's like but this is all kind of like to push me towards my goal of being able to be fully expressive on the instrument without being held back by my technique, which has frustrated me so much in the past, especially the past few years.
What exactly happens? Like, what? Maybe this is a weird question, but like, what does it mean to be frustrated by your limitations? Is it like you hear something that you can't reproduce? What's the?
Yeah, I guess just like fumbling around on the instrument, not being able to execute ideas properly, which makes the music worse, and in turn just frustrates the hell out of me. Means that you can't like do what you want to do on the instrument. Yeah, but that's all about practice, really. Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, although maybe practice is quite a broad thing, like because I've certainly found, and I'm a very different sort of musician to you, and I can't really, yeah, I can't express. Maybe on my voice I can express a lot of what I want to, but on any other instrument I can't. But I've found like the sort of like psychological practice is a huge part of execution and stuff. Maybe because I'm a neurotic person, but I've definitely bonded with other neurotic musicians over this of just needing to be in the right mental place to play good music and not just be worried about like playing accurately or just worry about what people are thinking or whatever.
Yeah. Have you heard about the book Effortless Mastery?
No.
By Kenny Werner.
Let me make a note, please.
Yeah, make a note.
Grabbing a pen.
Yes. So my one of my amazing teachers, Andrew Dickerson, got me onto this book. And other people. I was like, a lot of people told me to do it. But yeah, and basically it's about like psychology and playing music, and it's very like jazz centric, like it's because he's a jazz musician, and it talks about being a jazz musician a lot, which is great. Great for someone like me, but it's also like applicable to like all musicians, and it's just about like headspace when you're playing, and it's really like that book is really life-changing. Like it actually really helped me a lot in terms of being in a positive headspace when you're playing music. And it was just had some great analogies in there, like just about how like just stuff like like put yourself in the situation like you're about to die, like you're close to death. You're not going to be thinking about like, oh, how good did I play that fucking lick, you're not going to be thinking about that. Like it actually doesn't matter that much. Like like it's like this is life or death, but music is about like joy and happiness and expression. It's not about like it's just like kind of just changes your mind state a lot. And it's got some meditations in there. It's really great.
Cool.
But that really helps me a lot, and I think it's so like headspace is just so important for being able to create and express. Yeah, totally.
In fact, I'll probably have cut them out, but I took some deep breaths before this podcast, and that's something so simple that I discounted it for years. Like psychologists or etc. would tell me to take some deep breaths, try that, it helps. And I'd be like, that doesn't help. And then I started doing it like really seriously a couple of years ago, and my whole life transformed just by being able to do some deep breathing, like before I went on stage, for example, or even like while I was working like hospo type jobs, just like breathing deep while I did it made it way more sustainable.
Bearable. I breathing is really amazing. Judy Bailey, have you heard about the Judy Bailey jazz dance?
No.
She nothing to note down. She does, it's like a breathing exercise, like pre-performance breathing exercise, and it has a little dance with it as well. And she used to get, I was in a class in second year at the con, and she used to get us to do it every time before we like even played. Just this really deep breathing exercise and like movement with the hands, and it really like it's meant to, I think, increase oxygen to the brain, or I guess, because from the breathing, which is meant to relax all the muscles, and it's good.
That's huge, and I love that it's joined with movement.
Totally.
I did a gig. In fact, I saw you play later that night, and it was one of the things that made me go, I've got to get Abby to come and talk to me. But
Oh.
played this. It was an amazing. You were playing in a jazz trio or quartet.
Quartet, I think.
Quartet.
Yeah.
That was just like super tight and just like made me very
Oh, thanks.
happy about music. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
But earlier that night, I'd done a gig where I was not. Usually, I play piano and sing at the same time, so I don't have to worry about my body all that much. It's got too many jobs to do. I just have to think about delivering, like doing the jobs and trying to be emotionally connected. But I was just standing there in front of a microphone, and I really wish I'd like jumped around the stage or just moved a lot before we started, because I started off kind of standing stiffly, just feeling generally uncomfortable and not knowing what to do with myself, and slowly like warmed into it. But there's a huge there's just like there's so much potential stiffness in
totally.
performance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, jumping around is good.
Or maybe the dance.
Yeah, expelling all that nervous energy. Good.
Yeah. Maybe in terms of I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting caught up.
That's all right.
In terms of like something I wanted to ask is, I don't know how much music you write, or whether you draw a distinction between sort of improvisation, say, and the more, I guess it's just like slowed down improvisation. But when you're creating a drawing, or when you're writing music, if that's something you do, whether you draw distinctions there, and what your interests are there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess composing is did you say a slowed down form of improvisation?
That's how I think of it.
I agree with that. I guess it's just a different form of like creation. Composing and improvisation, and I guess essentially they're the same, like they come from the same source, I guess. But I haven't written too much. Like I haven't composed. Like I've done little bits here and there, but like it's never been something. I guess I've got a lot of. I guess I'm kind of like nervous. It's not really something I've done much. So I haven't done much of that. But like I guess, in terms of like the process, like drawing. I think that is really similar. Like it's like improvised. Like all my drawing is like improvised. I think that is quite a similar process to improvising on an instrument in a way.
Right.
I mean, it's completely different, but it's also like, I guess it probably activates similar brain functions. But I think the times where I feel like there's some sort of block with me. I feel it might be like a harmonic, like lack of harmonic knowledge, which is kind of like holding me back from
feeling.
writing. But you know, like I don't think that really should be. I think that's kind of like an excuse in my head or something. I don't know. But the time, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to recommend a book that I flog on this podcast all the time, called The Artist's Way. I don't know if you've ever come across that.
Oh, no,
The
I
Artist's
haven't.
Way by Julia Cameron, where a lot of it is the word block, which is part of why I thought of it. The other reason is because it's my Bible, maybe my equivalent, effortless. Was it effortless art of mastery? Did I get that wrong?
Effortless mastery.
Easy. Just cross out 2 words. That's just really great for that. There's an exercise called blasting through blocks, where you just kind of list your it's kind of like a workbook, I guess. It's like a 12-week course that you can do, but you can also just read it, and it's really useful. But sorry, I'll let you get back to if this is supposed to be about you, but anyway. Blasting through blocks, where you just write out like all your anxieties about a particular activity or project. Then you write out all your like resentments, angers. Actually, I think it's the other way around. First you start with angry, resentment type stuff, and then your fears, and then maybe kind of listing, like try and isolate exactly what's stopping you or something. There's some extra question, but basically you just spew onto a page what you're worried and angry about. And even just doing, I often come back to that little exercise. It takes like 5 or 10 minutes, and suddenly I can work on something again. It's like,
wow, that's crazy.
Crazy little help. Anyway,
that's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely
check it out.
try and source out that book.
Mm.
Yeah, because
I'll send you a copy.
Please do.
I'm like really evangelical about it.
It's kind of the same with it. Yeah, I have books like that. But yeah, it's definitely it's I feel like it's something that's like gonna come out at some point in my life. Like I hope at least it's gonna. I have like little spurts of like of ideas and but yeah. And
the harmony thing really, like, there's so much amazing music that's really harmonically chill is one of the things, or like doesn't involve harmony like even at all. So like, like some like hip hop and that kind of, or like I went and saw Bike Thief the other night.
Awesome. I love
a lot of that music has like, it has harmony, but it's not related in any way to like the Western theory canon or whatever,
of course,
whatever sounds they want. And my music as well, I write all these, they're like complex chords, I guess, in that they often have lots of notes in them, and I have no clue what I'm doing. I just do what sounds pretty, just like plonk around till I find something that's nice.
No, you're so true. I mean, like a lot of like music that I really love, Cuban music, is a lot of it's really harmonically simple, and the incredible beautiful part about it, I mean, the harmony is beautiful, but it's the rhythm, like it's the groove and the rhythm, and it makes up for the harmonic simplicity, I guess.
I reckon moving to Sydney was the first time I started hearing rhythm as like really explicitly emotional. Like I used to hear like chords and be like, well, that's heart-rending, that particular cadence or whatever, and not really associate the same thing with rhythm, even though I loved rhythm. It just didn't fit into that category or something. And then I went and saw, I think like Tully Ryan was the first person that I watched, and I was just like, each gesture has like a different color and a different feeling in my heart, and it just messed me up in a wonderful way.
He's I've had some moments listening to him play as well. For sure. That's awesome.
I think I had another question about creativity, but I've forgotten what it is. How are we doing for time?
I don't know. I'm in no rush.
We got ages. We've done about half an hour. Is there... Sorry, I'm very vague today.
No, that's all right. It's early.
It's not really an excuse for me.
For me, it is.
Well done for you. I consider myself an early bird for a musician. I like to
for a musician.
8 is really good for me. Exactly. Not relative to the rest of the population.
I'm just kind of like standard musician.
When do you get up?
Oh, I don't know. Like if I can, I'll sleep until 11. But if I've had a big night, I'll sleep until the afternoon.
Nice. Leave the AM be.
Leave it to be. Have you thought of that question yet?
I think I did, and then I forgot it again.
Damn.
It was something like, what's your Oh, that's right. It's a bit of a strange one, like do with it what you will. But what abstract idea are you interested in at the moment? Is there some kind of concept that you've been excited about? As I say, it's a weird one. And some people are like, this is great. I know exactly the thing. And some people are like, oh, that's,
I feel like there are,
I don't get asked that at parties.
Probably with art, with visual things. There are some concepts, I guess. I'm interested in drawing like trying to draw like what's happening inside, like some sort of soul, I guess, like what that looks like, I guess. I'll with like drawings, like I'll do one like repeatedly over and over again and try and get it like do it and then draw another one, the same concept.
Right.
But that's one that lately, maybe not so lately, but like in the past like year or something, I've been trying to, so like drawing like a person, they're not really people that I draw, but then like
they tend to have faces or something recognizable.
a being, and trying to draw the like the what's inside, and like I don't know, it's kind of hard to put into words, but
I guess that's why you draw it.
yeah, but like just stuff like that, and like I really like intertwining things, so like kind of ropes, like lately I've been thinking a lot about like ropes, like knots inside.
That motion you're making is, when I see that in some of your pictures, I'm just like, wow, because they tend to be so like full of motion, like a movement kind of thing.
I've been liking drawing like kind of like stuff coming out of someone and then like them holding on to it, or like pulling it like into them, or like pulling it out. So it's kind of like just like these are kind of all like mental states, I guess. Like just really twisted and just all screwed up, I guess.
Well, they do tend to be, as you said, intertwined, screwed up. And but that image that you did with your hands of the tension of pulling, like maybe two things have been coiled up and then have tension on them, so you get this straight line. That just feels like, I don't know, just really a really special kind of disruption or something. It feels like a giant rim shot or something. This like
nice.
It's huge.
Totally.
I love that.
But that's something. In terms of music, I don't know about an abstract idea, but I've been focusing in on a few really specific sticking motions, and but that's not that's not really abstract.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm being in terms of the drumming, I've been and this has been something I've been working on with Simon, but I've created three, so over the past like couple weeks or so, I've created 3 motion stickings, and I'm gonna build my own kind of language, I guess, from those 3, from that seed. So it started off with one motion sticking that I came up with, and then creating variants of that sticking, and then hopefully and this is and then hopefully building upon that and really internalizing these stickings, and then being able to, and by stickings I mean like right left right left right left, like it's a different, like going from right to left, and also the difference between like loud notes and soft notes. So that's what I mean by motion stickings. And then hopefully being able to truly internalize them and be able to put them into the music that I make, jazz, improvised music, really, so like really internalizing these ideas which I've created.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's like building another branch of your personality or something. About building a language or something.
I mean, it's like I'm not building a language, but I'm building my vocabulary, I guess.
That's
building my own little pieces of vocabulary, because it's as like a jazz musician, you spend a lot of time learning other people's vocabulary. So especially, you know, your heroes of the past, like Billy Joe Jones, Ben Riley. You spend a lot of time like writing down what they did and practicing it, which is called transcription. But then there's the other method, which is, you know, creating your own figures, which are definitely going to be inspired by all that shit that you listen to. But it's like a different process. I think it's important to do both. Like if you want to be creating music that's fresh and
well, I noticed that in my own music is I have I have vocabulary that starts to recur. The more songs I write, the more and produce, the more that happens, the more it all starts to sound like strangely similar in certain ways. So the act of, I've been getting piano lessons and learning like Autumn Leaves, trying to learn how to do jazz in very like preliminary ways, but that's like that every lesson feels like a small explosion of new vocab, I guess, because we look at how other people played, and you get to take that with you. I get to have a little bit of Charlie Parker or whatever in my music now.
It's a little gift that you're stealing.
Stolen gift.
A little stolen gift.
But, I think it is a gift.
I think it's a gift
as a musician.
Well. Yeah, it's important to steal those gifts.
I mean, what would you have if we started from scratch? If we were like, all right, let's start music all over again, it wouldn't be super fun. It's
an interesting idea. Hey,
yeah,
it's an interesting idea.
Like Harry Parch, someone like that. He had like the instruments that he was trying to replicate vocal, like speech kind of intonation, and so he had lots of pieces written for instruments that no one else possessed, and it was all just this special little Harry Parch music.
That's cool. I haven't heard about.
Worth looking up, probably. It's like cool. I found it super exciting for like 10 minutes. You know, it's like, oh, wow, this is crazy, and then I haven't revisited it. But like, I think it's a good thing to know about.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, very cool.
This is I wonder. So, at first, well, you've talked about mental states and being twisted and that kind of thing, and at first glance, your visual art, I guess partly because it's mainly black and white, kind of strikes me as expressing suffering or like the darker sides of existence, let's say.
Definitely.
More than the light, something like that. And do you have? Is there? I guess just maybe comment on that, because I also see so much movement and joy and play in them that I feel like there's an argument either way. But what role does suffering play in your creation?
Well, first of all, the black and white thing, something I really value in like visual art is, with the black and white, is just the contrast between the light and the dark. So the white, so like, so a lot of the time when I'm drawing, when I'm like maybe like 3/4 of the way through a piece, I'll put it up into a mirror and like look at it in the mirror. So you see it from from another perspective, and you can, and I'll check whether there's a good contrast between light and dark. So sometimes it would be like, oh, there's too much white. Like, I have to like fill that up with something. And that's like something that really helps me. Like, it's like, I do that a lot. And that's like, for me, it's a good piece if it's like white, light and dark. So I guess it's kind of like, I guess if I want to delve deeper into that, I guess it's like, learning to like embrace the darkness like within you, and learning to yeah, just like not only embrace the light, but I heard someone say like it was some poem or something that was like she was only looking at the light until she learnt to dance with her shadow. I really like that. So just
I feel like I've
like,
read that.
yeah, I
Don't know what it is,
but
and
I
it sounds
I
Jungian as
like
well.
that
Have you heard
idea.
of? I'm sorry.
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you know Carl Jung? He was like a eccentric
No, I don't.
psychologist. Some people get really.
No.
I really like a lot of the ideas, but he had this idea of integrating the shadow, which was taking
Ooh.
all the sides of yourself that, particularly that society isn't obviously explicitly fond of, even though it actually values them in like subtle ways, but or like and so if you can integrate your aggression, your the sexual stuff that people probably don't want to see on the street, or aggression, sexuality, and maybe there's one more, but those sort of forces inside you that are dark, then you make
Yeah,
yourself a more whole person, and so a lot of his
totally.
therapy centered around
Yeah.
rounding people out, giving them access to their dark sides, because it can make you strong in lots of ways.
Yeah, that's really, I think it's so important, and it helps me get through a lot of shit in my mind, just because if you try and push that stuff away, it will like come to haunt you in worse ways. And
sometimes
you
it
might
comes
not,
out
and
without your control. That's the worst.
exactly. But if you delve into it in a creative way, it can be really healing, I think.
I believe that.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to really say on that matter.
I wanted to just comment a little further on it, on like things I notice in your pictures, which is I feel like it's a real revelation to me that you'll always listen to music when you paint them, draw them. What media do you
Usually
actually
draw.
Yeah, right.
Usually draw with a black ink pen. Sometimes paint though.
Nice.
Sometimes, but
And
mainly ink pen.
how big are they as well? Because I only see the little
Usually quite small. But I recently every now and then I'll have the energy to do a really big piece, and there'll be A3 pieces. So I just finished an A3 piece, which is actually going to be turned into a puzzle, which is cool.
Ooh, wow. What a fun idea.
So, so my friend Oscar is a bit of an entrepreneur, and he's starting a little puzzle artist puzzle business thing. That's and great. Teaming up with artists and getting them to design a piece and then turning it into a puzzle. And then so I designed the piece, and we've gotten the scan, and we just now have to like send it off to the manufacturers, and we're going to get a puzzle. But yeah, that was quite a big piece. That took me quite a while. And I auctioned off the original piece to a
How much did you make? Is that an acceptable question to?
I think it was like $230.
Not bad.
The final price, which I'm very very happy with.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, what was the original question? Oh yeah, how big are they? Yes, but usually they're kind of smaller, because I like carrying around like little books and doing it on the train and stuff. So a lot of the time they're quite small, and I like to get really really detailed and small about it.
Yeah. You can tell like they're deliciously detailed. And something else I wanted to comment on was just I think one of the reasons that I do a bit of drawing in a more amateurish way, I guess.
I can see a little drawing on your wall back there.
Yeah, I think that's
cool.
actually by Alice. That was her birthday card.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
kind of looks like a bit of a cracked Susie's.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And you can kind of see the improvised nature of it, or like the moving nature of it, something like that. And they seem, to me, they seem to be like always like perfectly balanced, if that makes sense. So it was interesting to hear you talk about like holding them up in a mirror and wondering about the ratio of black to white, that kind of thing, because in some ways they feel like like they have the same kind of constitution or whatever the word is of like a, you know, a bold geometrical shot or something that's really symmetrical or something, but they've got it like tilted over or turned inside out or something, you know. It's still, it feels
cool.
like a yin and yang balance.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is one of the things that makes me, I think, want to
And
keep
the yin
looking
and
at 'em.
yang is all about that, you know. In every or in every good thing there's a little bit of bad, and every bad there's a little bit of good. Yeah, same kind of thing. But yeah, I think that black and white thing is really like something about it. I don't know.
Special.
Yeah. Whenever I try and add color, it just everything goes to shit.
Really? That's so interesting.
Kind of. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Basically, one more question, and then I might start sort of trying to wrap it up or whatever, or like asking a few closing questions, if that's
Okay.
that's if you're amenable to that.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's kind of, yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing like community radio would ask or something. Anyway, I'm asking what's the role of community in your life? Because yeah, we
that's a good
sort
question.
of move on the edges of similar circles, I think, or like we have a
Yeah.
fair few mutual friends and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm just interested in. Yeah.
I think community is everything. Like, honestly, I think it's all about community. It's like the music community is like I mean, like that's the thing that's really made me like I'm doing all these hand motions, like, you know, progress, like it's just everyone's energy feeding off everyone's energy, you know, someone telling you, like, you know, to listen to this, and someone, you know, being like, oh, let's go to this gig, and like it's just like like art is all about community and building each other up. And like I find that, yeah, definitely with music, like jazz music is, I was talking about this like yesterday with my good friends George Greenhill and Ben Lerner. We were talking about just like how jazz is it's like a social music, and it's you know, it really takes off when people get together, and you know, that's what it's all about, is you know, just, yeah, I don't know.
Having a party together.
Yeah,
together.
I really like, and you can't do it on your own, like.
That's for sure.
And same thing with the art community. The art community is not something I'm as much of a part of, but like I guess through I'm lucky to be a part of it in a little way, like through the doof scene, like being able to, I've done some like exhibitions and stuff at Bush Doofs, and I think that's also a separate community that I'm a part of. I wish they were more intertwined. I wish it was less. I wish in Sydney, at least, the scenes were less divided. I wish it was more about. But I mean, that's not like, it's kind of not like natural that happens like that. But I think that's
I definitely noticed that like I really love. There's one particular, I guess, like psychedelic visual artist. I've forgotten his name. It's like Iken. He's Turkish. Iken something. Anyway, it's just like it's computer art, and so it's like really, really richly detailed, and it's got that kind of neon psychedelic vibe to it. But it's so profound, and I think he does a lot of it is him trying to depict his experiences on DMT, and it's just like amazing heavy art that I love to look at. But that whole world, it does feel like just utterly separate. It's like a different art form to I guess the more academic or just like gallery exhibition type visual art.
Totally.
I can tell, and it maybe it is natural, but it seems sad or something, or like
definitely. I mean, like the like academic or side or whatever you're talking about, like that side of art, like legit galleries and stuff, like I'm not part of that scene at all, like, because I feel like I don't know, it's like my stuff is I don't know, it's quite raw and a bit like it's dark, and it does cater towards the, you know, just that the crazy kind of element of like the psytrance scene, and it really kind of just like, yeah, it blossoms it within that sector. But it would be great if it was like, I mean, I saw this really great piece of, it was like one of those really old classic paintings of like of a landscape, and someone had drawn in, like, you know how you can just people draw over like like old paintings that you find at Vinnie's and stuff.
Yeah.
And they drew a little like bush doof like there, and like people like with like the rig set up, and like people raving and stuff. And I thought that was a really cool like intersection between like the two different worlds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be great if all these worlds were combined more. Like for me, like psytrance and jazz, like I'm also really passionate, and something I don't really kind of talk about as much is that I'm really passionate about psytrance, and but I wish that the jazz and the psytrance scene were kind of more like less alien towards each other, like, because I'm in both scenes. I can hear
somehow, yeah,
but like they make me feel the same way, and I'm like, why, because I hear people talking about, you know, each, so I'll hear people talking about jazz and the psytrance scene, you know, like jazz on ding ding ding, like, you know, and then like people talking about like electronic music and the jazz scene, and it's like, come on guys, this is the same shit, like it's just good music, like
yeah, heck yeah, that's beautiful.
I wish it was all kind of, I guess that's something that I would love to do in my life is produce, and I've talked about this with like a lot of mates of mine, just like trying to combine, kind of merge together different art forms, you know, like in an event, like have like a punk rock band play, and then a jazz band play, and then get like a psytrance DJ up, and just really putting it all together.
Yeah, that's a beautiful idea, and yeah, I'm very into that too. I've done in fact, probably the majority of gigs that I organize end up that way, one way or another, because I have all these musician friends I want to see play, and they're often just really different to my music, and so you end up like, I had the Pen Club and then my music, so like really dissonant, like modern jazz. Anyway,
I think that's great. I mean,
me too, and it tends to bring lots of people who like it all, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really important.
And like electronic, especially like the what am I talking about? Especially the like live electronic music is quite improvised. Like you can call either of the like jazz and also the I guess bush doof music, techno, by trance, improvised music. They operate pretty differently, but it's still you're kind of feeding off the crowd and deciding when to
definitely. It's, I mean, the mixing and the DJing of all the tracks is an art form in itself, and definitely highly improvised, and and I've done a little bit, I've dabbled in a little bit of DJing over the past, since moving into this new house. It's not really new anymore, but my housemates are very passionate DJs.
Cool.
And so I've been lucky enough to learn a little bit of that, and I did my first DJ set at a little bush doof like a few months ago.
Wow.
Which is fun. But I love that. I mean, that's but I'm also like, it's also just like a whole new world to me, like all the mixing and stuff. It kind of like blows my mind a little bit.
Oh yeah, me too. I've been doing that stuff for a long time, or like for since 2013 at least. So like 8 years or something, and I'm just lost in so many areas that it's kind of like, I guess it's like music. Well, it is music in some sense, but I imagine you never really feel like you've got got like mastery or something, because it's so deep and there's such a rich canon to feed from.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever reach mastery in anything, but I can strive.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe mastery is an ideal, not a material concept, not something that's actually embodied by humans. Well, that's like a nice way to look at it, because
definitely.
as much as you see people who are way better than you, they're probably striving for mastery.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wonder if the people that we consider to be masters, I wonder if they felt like masters. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. And if they do, how silly, because they could probably do better if they didn't, Like,
yeah.
Thanks so much for talking to me. This has been really nice.
It's my pleasure. It's been really fun.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I could ask you the final question that I'm trying to ask everybody, which is who would you like to see on the Boroky podcast? And I kind of ask for usually two, because there can be one that's like they would probably say no. Like you can say Ariana Grande, and there we go. And then maybe someone who might be a little more achievable.
Wow. I mean, first one that comes to mind, maybe Tully.
Cool. That's,
I mean, because it was on my mind because we were talking about Tully, and who else? Maybe. Oh, I'm having a mental blank.
I mean, it's a hard. Yeah, it's like it's one of those annoying questions, because you definitely have heaps of answers. Like, there's no shortage, I imagine, of people you'd like to see talked to.
Yeah.
But
Charlie's been on this, right?
Yeah, Charlie's been on this.
Yeah, he's been on
this.
He
was great. I'll have to ask him back. He was very good.
Yeah, I'll ask him back. Who else is there? Oh, there's so many incredible people. I can't.
You can always, Tully is a great suggestion, and you can always message me stuff if
for sure. I will. I'll have a think about it. I'm having a mental blank.
Cool. No, that's fine. Thanks. Yeah. Might conclude here, unless is there any final thing you'd like to tell listeners?
I think
there is hope, everyone.
I think I've rambled enough today.
It's been wonderful rambling. I've been really engrossed. So sorry for my interruptions. I'll jump in and then be like, I wish I hadn't.
Thanks.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm gonna press stop recording.
Okay. Bye.
Smile with me if you want me to smile. Hell, I'm gonna smile with you as if we're going to die, as if I'm gonna die with you, as if we're going to die, as if you're gonna die with me.